Hey guys, what's up? Holy cow, what a big day. If you guys don't recognize this special guy in the room, YourWetSock, welcome, man.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is so exciting. So this is actually, we're taking over all of Master of BlackJack's channel today for the Bottom Feeder Army. We're going to talk all things TLC, man. We have so much to dive into, and I'm so excited that we're starting off with you.
Right. I'm excited about it too, because me and BlackJack, dude, we're like inseparable. You know, that's my brother from another mother. So I'm happy to be on here. Really appreciate it.
That's awesome. All right. So, man, we have so many topics to go over. But before we get started, you have a lot going on in your own world right now.
Yeah. You know, it's strange that you'd mentioned that. Basically, Devin Clegg from 90 Day Fiance threatened me with legal action. And I don't know why. But she thought it was a good idea, and then I called her out on it, and now we have a little back and forth jousting on Instagram. So,
wow. Okay, yeah. And is this something? I mean, I have to say, you have a pretty prominent following on YouTube, and I just started around here about 4 months ago. Is this something that's normal for people to just come at you with these lawsuits?
Honestly, the only other person that's ever threatened me with legal action is Jeffrey Pascal from 90 Day Fiance. And I know that in the commentary community, he's gone around and threatened a bunch of people, which is strange because he doesn't own the rights to the footage of him on the show. TLC does. So it's all, you know, groundless accusations or like groundless threats. And I've seen a couple TV personalities do that, but for her to try and threaten me, I was just caught off guard because one, I didn't know what she was talking about. The message stated something like, I've been informed by bloggers that you are going behind my back, or you're talking and telling people and spreading lies about me, that I've been paying YouTubers or people to put me in their good graces and talk really nice about me, something like that. And first of all, I didn't even know bloggers still existed. I thought they went extinct. I was caught off guard by it. And yeah, it's all just like a baseless, it's just baseless accusations at the end of the day. And honestly, she wasn't even in my radar. I wasn't going to make videos on this girl until she sent me that message, and I saw that message. I was filming a Trisha Paytas OnlyFans video at the time. So I wasn't even going to make a video on this girl. And then she threatened me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then I reviewed her OnlyFans, and then I made the other video on her. But like, that was purely in response to her sending me a threatening DM.
Okay, so may I ask really quick then, do you feel like, just to flip the script and kind of play devil's advocate a little bit, could this have potentially been a way to just get publicity then? Since, you know, if you post a video, you're obviously going to get views, and it's going to be relevant until you post your next video. So could this just have been a way?
Oh, 100% it was. Yeah.
So if it was a ploy, did you buy into it?
Oh, did you mean for me or for Devin?
For Devin.
Oh, for Devin, I'm not sure it was, because technically she has like more followers than I do on Instagram. So I don't think it was a ploy for her as much as me. When she like came in, it like with the accusations, when she like threatened me with the accusations in the Instagram DMs, I took that as like, okay, well then I'll just make a video on you and make you look really dumb, because you are dumb. I've only commentated on you from what I've seen from the show. So she, as well as a lot of these other people that go on 90 Day Fiance, they all come with this energy of like entitlement, of I'm a celebrity, I can do whatever I want, treat people worse because I'm verified on Instagram. Dude, I don't care if you're verified on Instagram, pull up, you know? And it's like, for you to come at me like a commentary YouTuber, the one rule is you don't come at someone that does commentary YouTube. It's like the golden rule.
Because then you're on the radar.
Then you're on the radar. And buddy, I wasn't even going to make a video on her. I couldn't wait to make my Trisha Paytas video. I was glowing. I was going to review the queen of moot bombs because she's messy, and I think she's actually pretty funny. And there's a lot of stuff to say commentary wise. And then here comes this girl who is not even top 10 on the 90 Day Fiance world for notoriety or anything. And she comes in with this Karen energy and tries to throw it in my face and falsely accuses me of talking to bloggers. I don't need to talk to bloggers about you, dummy. You're not even one of the top 10 notoriety, like you're not even a famous person on the show. Her segment was boring. I think the most interesting segments right now are Oswelu and Andre's segment. So I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, at least you're transparent about it. And that obviously shows it seems like there's nothing to hide here. You really don't understand what's going on, and this smells like a publicity stunt a little bit. But
yeah,
wow, okay.
Yeah. I think it might be, to be honest with you. I just don't know, because she doesn't seem like it doesn't seem premeditated. It seems like I caught her off guard by posting it. I think she expected me to like snivel up and cower and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I won't make any videos on you because you're famous on Instagram. You know, like most of the followers that they have on Instagram are bots that TLC probably bought for them. Like they're not real followers. I just find it, like, if you look at her numbers, 450,000 followers on Instagram, but you're pulling like a couple thousand likes on your post. Those engagement numbers don't add up, buddy. You know, I'm an analytics guy, and I look at that and I'm like, yikers, bro. I might have less followers than she does, but if I'm matching her engagement on Instagram, yikes, dude. I don't even post on Instagram that much. So
then I have to ask you, is the moral of the story, before we jump into the rest of the topics, is the moral of the story here, you don't mess with your wet sock? Because if you
100%.
you're going to get blasted out.
More than me, I'm a man of the people. And you don't mess with the wet sock community, okay? Because we are just a nice community that wants to vibe, and we have positive, good vibes, and we just want to have a kickback, have a couple Miller Lights and chill. You know, maybe we'll talk a little shit every once in a while, but it's all in good fun. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you put yourself on TV and you're a TV personality, you shouldn't take yourself that seriously, and you shouldn't be a Karen, and you shouldn't be throwing Karen energy, because at the end of the day, man, it just looks bad on you, you know?
No, I totally agree. And, you know, I think that's why when I talked to Master of BlackJack, he was so excited that we were coming together to do this, because I think the Army of Bottom Feeders, he tries to deliver the same kind of entertaining content that you do. And it's just, at the end of the day, a community coming together to maybe talk a little bit of mess, but also have a good time. It's not like anybody's trying to ruin anybody's lives here. Right,
100%. And you know what? Honestly, to her, I wish her well. I hope that there's some personal growth that happens, and she maybe takes herself a little bit less seriously. If she handled it in a different way, I feel like it would have been a different outcome. If she approached me with, hey, what's up? Like your videos. Are you going to make a video on me or something like that? Or do you know anything about this? Okay. But when I see attorneys are involved or legal teams are involved, of course I'm going to get defensive. I'm a human, you know? And if you lead with that, of course, you know, rationally, you would think that I'm going to expose you, because you can't come in with that kind of energy. If she was like, hey, you know, funny video reviewing my OnlyFans, I would have been on to the next one, because she doesn't pull that many views, to be honest with you. So
it was just all in the approach, and then it's just all in the approach. It could have just been handled differently.
100%. And like, here's the thing. It's a global pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. We're all just trying to laugh and distract ourselves and have fun. And this has been the worst year ever for everybody. Right. At the end of the day, me, Master BlackJack, we just want to entertain people, dude. It's just funny. And like, that's what I try to do with my videos. Like, I try to put my own creative twist on it and make it jokes. And I work really hard editing my videos. So it's like, I mean, you know, she thinks I'm involved with bloggers and I'm like a blogger. Whoa, dude. The disrespect. Unbelievable.
And I think that sometimes, just respectfully, people don't realize just being a YouTuber alone, when you're putting out the content, and like you said, all of the time that it goes into editing the videos and, you know, researching the people that you're making the videos on, you have a full-time job. This is a full-time job.
Yeah, being a YouTuber is like 5 jobs in one. So I mean, I just feel like if you go on a reality TV, if you're a 90 Day Fiance contestant, you go on a reality TV show, it's different when you have 20 people in the room doing the job for you. And you just have to worry about acting or just being yourself, if that's what it is. But it's different when you have to do all the jobs that people do on the show yourself. But it's just you alone in a room with your camera, you know?
Right. Well, I'm curious, because you're talking about TLC and egos and stuff. If you just had to spit somebody off the top of your head, who would you feel like who would have the biggest ego that TLC has produced?
Honestly, you know what? Not Ed. I actually think Big Ed handled it really well, because I dished on him pretty hard, and he was nice. He did a cameo for me. I feel like he has a good publicist. I feel like he's well connected in San Diego. So I feel like he's actually not that bad. I think that the problem arises when people don't really understand. Like, I think it's the people that don't know how to work their iPads that are the biggest Karens on the show, because when they get rid of the help and they're done with the show, the tell-all's over, they're not invited back. They're like, wait, I'm a public figure though.
Because
but you're not renewed. They got the ego, right? They got the verification on Instagram. They think they're a public figure. And then they have no one helping them. And then it's like, okay, here, do all the work. You want to be a public figure? Figure it out on your own. And then usually they crash and burn. That's usually what happens.
I mean, I bring up anybody, but they're actually, it's fine. I think this is fair because TLC, again, when you put yourself on a reality show or this sort of platform, these conversations, they're okay as long as you don't take it to that disgusting level, right? So I think one would be like Soulja Boy and Baby Love. I feel like they thought they were going to keep going and that music was just going to keep going and this was going to be a huge business opportunity. And boom, just before you know it, it's all taken away from you, just like that.
Right.
But okay, yeah. So I want to move on to because we talked about some other topics, and obviously the biggest thing going on with TLC right now, aside from you and Devin going back and forth on Instagram, right. I think we just both watched the same reunion, and this was a little nuts.
Yeah, so, a lot of stuff.
All right, where do we start? Let's start with Larissa and Colt. Okay, so obviously we see for the preview next week, Larissa is going to expose something about Colt, but we don't know what it is yet. We see he's cringing and she's like, I'm going to tell you guys something you don't know. Any guesses?
Well, she already dropped the bomb that he was cheating on her while they were married or sending dick pics. I don't know if that's technically cheating, but I feel like sending dick pics to other girls is not a good look. And it's wrong in so many levels, right? I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be, but it's speculated that it's going to be something about fetishing his mom because they have a really suspect relationship. I don't know if that's true or not, but
oh my God.
I don't know, man. That whole situation is so suspect to me because basically what he does is he brings these girls from other countries. He holds citizenship or the green card over their head, and then he uses his mother as an excuse to embarrass them and then break up with them.
So he's almost humiliating. You feel like he's in a serial way humiliating these women as storylines just to keep relevant.
100%. I feel like that's not refutable. I mean, that's what's happened the past 2 times. He's had 2 different girls, both from Brazil, and he's done the same thing. It's a pretty simple formula.
Right. So is there potential that we could see this play out one last time on one more spinoff?
I don't know. What do you think? Are you bored about it? Or do you think people will keep watching it because it's just so weird?
See, now that we know for sure that Larissa is fired, and I have my own feelings about that because I know Cam Soda is a little bit more X-rated, yes, and some of the other TLC castmates, they have fans-only accounts, as you definitely know. Right. But I feel like every time they get a new personality that's coming in to deal with Colt, that will offer a storyline in itself because he likes hot-tempered women. So obviously, between dealing with him and dealing with Debbie, a hot temper, it's going to give us some ratings.
Right. I feel like it's such a weird situation that I think we can keep seeing the same formula. I honest to God do. I think, like, with Ji-hoon and Devin segment, for me as a viewer, it wasn't as entertaining, not even close to Colt's segment. Like, Colt's segment at the end of the day is entertaining because I think the dynamic with his mom and whatever girl he's with is so weird.
It's so weird. And just calling it what it is. I mean, I think at this point, he, on the finale, had a revelation that it was weird. Because he's even like, dude, I got to do something here.
Right. I feel like now he's like on the way out because they even like, they announced that, right? So he's trying to come to terms with, okay, this is a weird relationship with my mom and try to grow. Yet from the tell-all, they were like 2 peas in a pod sitting right by each other being snarky. Larissa, your boobs look different. Oh, you did some work. You have some work done with your boobs. It's like, whoa.
Which is the dumbest. It's like, you're not insulting her. You do realize that she paid to get those boobs to look at, like, she's wearing that shirt for that reaction. And then they sit there and they want to insult. And then all of a sudden Debbie's like, if we're going to do this, I'm not doing this. It's like, well, then stop throwing stones, sister.
Right. Well, it's like almost really passive aggressive because he'll make comments and have a snarky attitude, and then he'll be surprised when she lashes out at him. And it's like, wait, dude, you came in with some passive aggressive energy. Of course she's going to lash out.
Exactly.
You know, in most other countries, they don't have this word for like fake, right? So like being a fake person. I live in Eastern Europe, so I'm used to that, to where like my friends weren't used to the term fake. They didn't know what it really meant because people here are very direct. I feel like in most Latin American countries, they're very direct too. So to have someone like, it's almost antagonizing to have someone, you know, snark at you and say little snippy comments. So I wasn't surprised about how she was lashing out at him and everything.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. Well, and since we're talking about people who are on their way out, technically, of TLC, the network, I want to kind of just move forward to people who could potentially be around to stay, because we've heard rumors that Angela and Michael could be potentially getting a spinoff, and that would have to be thanks to either a spousal visa or a work visa. And right now I'm thinking it would have to be a work visa. And then, of course, Andre and Elizabeth.
Right. With Angela and Michael, how hard is it right now to get a visa in the United States because of the COVID and the situation currently? That's a big question. I don't know the answer. I just know that the visa application process could take a lot longer to obtain a visa because of the situation right now.
I'm sure that's definitely a harsh reality, and that plays into it for sure. That has to.
Right. As for like comparing Angela and Michael to Andre and Elizabeth, I think Andre and Elizabeth have a higher likelihood to get their own spinoff just because they have Jess and Charlie and Elizabeth's father. And from the tell-all, they were not backing down. You know, Charlie, Jess, everybody was not backing down. They were very firm in their beliefs, and they weren't really willing to compromise with Andre. So I feel like they're most likely people to get a spinoff. And to be honest with you, I would probably watch it.
I would watch it.
At first, I didn't think that they would be that entertaining. And then I watched and I was like, okay, this dynamic is really good. And I would watch if they had their own spinoff. I would watch the show for sure.
It's just kind of a bunch of crazy, and it's a bunch of hypocrites kind of, because it's like, well, what did you do? Tell us your past. But then this one's running around with the DUI. This one's caught a charge. This one allegedly has a fraudulent business. There's so much going on in this dynamic that it's kind of ridiculous.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I didn't want to cut you off. No worries.
No. I think it's interesting because Karini, who's Kalani's sister, obviously, she came forward and said for her, she hates filming 90 Day because sometimes it's so pre-produced and they ask her to have these certain conversations or say things or move a certain way. And she's like, I don't want to do this. I'm not an actress. And it seems like Elizabeth's family is like, I'm ready. Put the camera on me.
Right. Well, yeah, I think that's the real difference. I think they are ready. I think Elizabeth has a history of being an actress, and I think she is smarter than people give her credit for. I know I've dunked on her a little bit just because she's like a failed actress, but she always likes to, pitch that I'm an actress and stuff like that, or I used to do that. But now she works for her dad. Daddy didn't give me a job. So anyway, I'm a little bitter about that. Right. Anyway, I feel like the thing with Elizabeth is she is used to it because I call her flip-flop Elizabeth, because she'll go from talking to Andre and being like, Andre, you can't do that, to talking to her family, like, you guys can't do that. Leave my husband alone. So I think she plays her role really well. And I think her entire family is down to be more dramatic for TV. Do I think that I think a little bit of it is real and raw. And I think that maybe it's over dramatized, but I do think a lot of things they say, they do mean.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing that made me mad was there's this one scene when they're talking about how the food in Moldova is peasant food. And dude, that made me so angry because I'm living in Bulgaria and we have a lot of like similar, food and stuff. And I just thought that, dude, it's so ignorant and closed-minded to go to a country and diss their food and be like, oh, they just eat the scraps. America is the best. America is the best food in the world, and this is just scraps. Dude, I couldn't believe that. America has a lot of the food's processed, man. And there's food's good everywhere in the world. I've been to a lot of countries in the world. Food's great everywhere. There's good food and there's bad food everywhere in the world. So I thought that was a really ignorant statement.
You know, a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know this either until my fiance told me, but he traveled for 13 years with Cirque. So he would go to all these different places, and I was always very sheltered living in the States, and I didn't really go out of the States until I got into my adult life, really. So he would tell me that everywhere in the rest of the world that everybody thinks Americans can kind of be ignorant because they come in and they're loud, obnoxious, don't want to try things. And Elizabeth's family kind of proved an example of that, of just really not being open to the culture and just coming off really just ignorant. Ignorant is the best word.
Right. I feel like it's so funny that, you know, the past season, Andre was the bad guy. Everyone was team, you know, Elizabeth's family. And then now with this season, when they actually go to Moldova, everyone's rooting for Andre now. So it's funny how the public opinion sways, because now we saw a different side of her family that we've never seen before. And like you said, it was very ignorant the entire time. We saw Jess and Charlie are very jealous of the relationship that their father has with Elizabeth. It's clear as day, you know, talking about how my favorite scene is when Charlie's having a meltdown and he looks down at smoked salmon and he's never seen smoked salmon before. And he's like, yo, what the fuck is this, dude? You know, it's like, dude, unbelievable, dude. Where's the mac and cheese, bro? Where's the Easy Mac? This is the worst wedding.
Dog. What is he talking about?
Dog, smoked salmon. What about I've gone to Miami Springs. I've been to Tampa. Like, dude, seafood's one of the main things in Florida. What are you talking about? You never seen smoked salmon? Never had a bagels and lox? Unbelievable.
No, he's just trying to he's trying to get a reaction. He knew by grabbing that microphone he's going to have that big moment. And you know, again, I'm not one who's like pro everybody should just settle it with fighting or anything like that. But there were multiple moments this season that many people could have caught hands. I thought Tammy was going to catch Kalani's hands. I thought, you know, Charlie was going to catch Andre's. There were a lot of moments. Right. And Michael, I always think he's going to get beat up by Angela at some point. I'm just waiting for him to just get slapped.
Dog, can we sign a petition to save that dude? That's the wildest relationship I've ever seen, is Michael and Angela. Oh, my God.
To save him is just to not approve his visa. That's the best way to keep him safe. Just he'll be good.
Dog, don't come here. Like, why do you want to come here, bro? Why are you trying to come to America? It's crazy, because what's going to happen is he's going to come. She's not going to let him get a job. He's going to have no independence. He's going to be a prisoner in this lady's house. And he's going to have sex with this girl. And then after everything and they live their lives together, she's going to give all the money to her grandkids and everything. And he's going to be like homeless, man. She treats him so bad. It's crazy.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. And then God forbid, you know, when he does come over, I don't know. But I do want to say, if we do get him over to the United States, I've seen enough of Angela over there in Nigeria. I would love to see how he navigates over in America. But also, I have a feeling once he's over here, it's almost kind of like he might feel that stuck feeling, you know, like once you're here, you're kind of stuck. It's whatever Angela wants you to do. You better fall in line, buddy, because like she said, I'm not cooking. I'm not going to be doing all the cleaning. She's really just outlined this whole relationship.
Dude, he's not allowed to look at other girls.
He can't look anywhere.
Can we talk about that? That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, when he's in the club and there's a girl twerking and he just looks like he doesn't even do any. Of course your eyes, oh, he's a dude? Cool. Of course your eyes are going to go towards what's on the stage and a girl's twerking. That's not his fault. And then she storms off and calls him all kinds of names and like makes him feel like a piece of shit.
Which is kind of it's almost a contradiction though, a little bit, because she makes him wear the crowns with obviously the male parts on the penises on it, you know, and then completely emasculates the guy. And then from there, I don't know. It just seems like it's one thing after another. And then going on the reunion saying that she wanted to see Colt's D pics. It's like, had he came on the reunion and said, wow, Larissa, something's different about you, she would have been like, Michael. It would have been on.
You know what? Because she's so controlling, I wouldn't be surprised if she was cheating on him. I've seen that happen to a lot of people, where someone's really controlling of their partner and they're restrictive and they don't want them to go anywhere or do anything. And they're the person that's cheating on them. And it's a power thing. I've seen it multiple times.
You think with like 12 grandkids in there that she has time to cheat?
100%.
What?
I think she would make time for it. If she's going to be demeaning towards this dude and she constantly flirts with everybody. And then she goes on the tell-all and she has, fart face Elizabeth backing her up with, oh, I can't believe that you guys went to a strip club. I can't believe you guys went to a strip club. Wow, wow, wow. And then Angela's going with her Karen energy like, oh, yeah, and I was trying to make Michael jealous with his best friend. That's fucking weird, dude. Trying to make this dude jealous with his best friend, with his homie. His homie's not going to fuck you, dude. Like, yo, no one wants to fuck you, dude. You look like Jabba the Hutt. And then she's like talking shit to Michael, making him feel bad. And then everybody gangs up on Michael on the tell-all, even the host. And I'm like, yo, guys, I get you all are American and everything, but like, pump the brakes a little bit. Leave the guy alone. He didn't do anything.
So you feel like it's a free-for-all all on Michael?
100%. They all ganged up on him and they all backed up Angela, and she can just be as toxic and say whatever she wants. And, it's not sexual harassment, but it's pretty crummy to be like, oh, I wish I could be with your dad. And Michael's sitting right there. I feel like that's a crummy thing to say, especially when your partner's right there and you're already insecure. But it's okay for you to be insecure, but not for Michael. Because God forbid he looks at another girl or anything, because you're American and he's Nigerian and he can't do anything. And, she has like this superiority complex, man. And she holds the green card over his head. I think the whole thing's toxic. I honest to God do.
Okay. I'm learning about you. And I feel like if you feel something, you're definitely not going to hold back. And I like that about you. So before we take callers, I want to ask you, because there's obviously one couple who is noticeably missing from this reunion, which was Paul and Karini. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm really torn with Paul and Karini, to be honest with you, because given his history and the way he acts, I don't know if he's changed or not. And I would love to know if he has her permission to be in Brazil. Or she wanted that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, dude. It's kind of weird that she was like, yo, I'm going to go back to Brazil and like trying to get away from him. And then next thing you know, he's in Brazil and she's not at like their apartment.
Right.
Like, do you find that strange? Because I find that kind of strange.
Well, when I was trying to piece it together, there's many pieces of this puzzle I don't have yet because I don't quite understand it either. I know that Master of BlackJack has a relationship with Paul, so maybe we'll have to pick Master of BlackJack's brain and find out what's going on. But
right, and I just want to clarify too, if he's allowed to be there and she's like, yeah, go there, get the apartment ready, and that's what he's doing, that's fine. Like I think that this guy, from my last cameo I got from him, he communicated that he wants to change his ways, and it was immature of him to post everything and, the allegations and everything on Instagram, which I agree with. I think that was really weird to post on social media. But if he's trying to change and be a good father to his kid and listen more to what Karini wants and be a good husband, I'm all for it. I just want to know if he has her permission to be there, or he just was like, okay, I'm just going to go there. And now I'm in the apartment in Brazil. So like, you guys are ready, come whenever, because I'm here.
Yeah, but I would also hope that he would have her permission, only because of who her dad is in their community over there. Her dad, obviously, if he doesn't want Paul there, I just feel like that could be a very dangerous position if he did, in fact, go there unwelcome.
Right.
All right. Well, are you ready to take some callers and see what people think?
100%.
All right. Let's start with Sad Star Podcast.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So nice to meet you finally. I just wanted to hop in here real quick and talk about Devin.
Okay.
Real quick. So some things came up with Devin's story. I've read, there was this website allaboutthetea.com, and they got some information from John Yates. Now, I don't know John Yates, and I don't know how credible he could be, but there are some points that I just want to make clear for the audience. There was this thing that they said that she's legally married in Korea, but it doesn't count as a real marriage in America. I want to quote what I'm going to say right now from the U.S. Embassy in South Korea. it says in general, marriages that are legally performed and valid in Korea are also valid in the USA. So I think it's pretty clear that it's either Joan Yates was lying or Devin was lying to Joan Yates about this thing. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is Devin had three narratives, three stories about her relationship with Jihoon. I used to follow her vlogs, and when she went back to America, she said that everything is fine with Jihoon, they're doing great, and she just came back to America because the pandemic was horrible in Korea, and she came back to visit some family members. And then she changed it recently and said that she left Korea because Jihoon's parents mistreated Driscolla. Devin, if you can hear me right now, it's not anybody's fault that you called your daughter Driscolla, and it sounds like a sexually transmitted disease, honey. Honestly, like you did this to your own daughter. It's like naming your daughter Karen nowadays. Honestly, the jokes are coming. Anyways,
Sad Star podcast, you came with some feelings.
Yeah, I don't like liars, and I don't like people who change their stories several times. Honestly,
Respect.
Plus she's a cheater. Jihoon is granted he's a bum, but I kind of like bums more than cheaters. Anyways, about the second story that Jihoon's parents mistreated Drusilla, I don't believe that. I believe Drusilla mistreated Jihoon's parents. And the third narrative, which is the final one, the one that she and Joan Yates took and ran with, is that Jihoon abused Drusilla. That's child abuse. Now, these allegations are not something easy. They're not something simple that you can just go out and talk about that easily. First, I just want to say something. If your ex-husband, who's a Korean man, abused your 5-year-old daughter, then why did you take the same daughter, who's also 5 years old, 2 months later, and she's hanging out with another Korean man? Now, what I know is that 5-year-olds cannot differentiate between people like that. Like a Korean man looks like another Korean man. So what about the trauma? Like if your daughter was abused, honestly, and if she must be traumatized, then why are you putting her in the same environment with another man so quickly that who's actually also Korean? Like, wouldn't that trigger something in your daughter? And if he really abused your daughter, if Jihoon abused her, then why does she still have videos of Jihoon on her blog? Like, why is she even profiting off him? Why isn't she deleting everything that she has of him? And there's also this story that she said to her followers on Instagram in the comments that none of this even happened and that she left because Jihoon doesn't get in contact with her and that he blocked her. Jihoon said that he didn't block her and that he didn't block her and everything is fine, and that even in the summer, she told him that in the summer she can come back to Korea and he can see his son Taeyang. So can you guys see what I'm getting with this?
I'm actually kind of happy that I don't necessarily follow that storyline, because there's a lot of like twists, and I feel like this is like when you take a jump rope and it gets all bundled up, you know what I mean? Like this is, I'm exhausted.
It is exhausting. It is exhausting, but hold up. Is my phone gonna end? I think my phone is, the charger is gonna, oh shit. If I'm offline for a second, I'm gonna come back, okay? Because there's more that I want to talk about.
Okay, sounds good.
YourWetSock, were you expecting this?
You know what? I really wasn't expecting Devin to be so defensive and attack me. And I do think that it's very hypocritical of her to all of a sudden replace Jihoon with this new guy and she's basically leaving the videos of Jihoon up on her YouTube channel. And that was supposed to be a 50-50%, YouTube channel. You would think if someone has a YouTube channel together and you're family vloggers, you split the revenue, right? Because Jihoon and Devin are both technically, and Drusilla even, are actors in the videos. Now, I don't know if Jihoon has even been paid for his time. What I do know is I don't think that, I don't know if I can reveal this yet. So I don't know. Let's say hypothetically, I don't actually, fuck it, right? I don't think Ji-hoon has been paid for his cameos. So the cameos that he gets, I don't know if he gets paid for that. That's the T. I'm not entirely sure. But I do think that it's weird to replace Ji-hoon with this new guy who's an actor in LA that's obviously with her for clout because he hasn't been in a movie in like 6 years or whatever. And I do think it's kind of strange that you basically put your child in the limelight and put her on TV, yet commentators are not allowed to talk about your daughter. That's weird because she's a public figure and she made her a public figure. So that's a little strange.
So do you feel like, only because I am really vested into the Bravo world, and TLC has the tendency to get a little messier than Bravo. And for Bravo, children are always off limits. Now, do you feel like for TLC, by people including their children into the storylines, that
No. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with TLC or the Discovery Group or anything like that. I don't think that that's their responsibility. I think that that's Devin's responsibility. And I think
the castmate.
The castmate, if she wants to include her kid and make her kid her focal point and everything, that's fine. Just don't call people out for commenting on your kid when you made your kid the focal point of your YouTube channel and you made her a public figure on television. Because that's ridiculous.
Just to play devil's advocate with you, or kind of go back and forth, another spinoff that we have on TLC right now is Darcy and Stacey. And Darcy has obviously included Aniko and Aspen, who are her younger daughters, into the storyline. And now we're following them as they're teaching us yoga, showing us their TikToks and everything like that. Now, of course, a lot of the bloggers are attacking Darcy's parenting skills, why her daughters are on there, what her daughters are going to think of her relationship. And she's kind of put them in this position, so to speak. Is this kind of a similar situation where you can't really say anything if you're willing to film and put the underage person out there?
Right. I mean, it's tricky because I'll tell you firsthand, if me and my girl have kids, we've talked about this, or like when we have kids, we want kids. But I don't know if we would make them like, or even allow them to be on YouTube. Like, I do think it's weird, and there's definitely a correlation for child actors and, you know, a certain spiral later in life. I mean, I know you live in LA, so I know you've seen it, you know, a lot of child actors, a lot of people, you know, when they get into Hollywood at a young age, it gets pretty weird, right? So I don't know. I personally don't know if it's morally right or not. I just think that if your kids are part of your segment, then you shouldn't be critical of other people for commentating on parts of your segment, because you have to accept responsibility and realize that you made your kids public figure. You made your families a public figure. And for a lot of these people, they wouldn't have careers or be successful on their own. So they need to borrow TLC to do that. And part of signing off on the dotted line is, hey, you know, you sign away your rights basically to the footage and everything. And now you're going to be a public figure. So if you want it that bad, you have to think about everything. And I feel like a lot of these people don't think about everything. Then they get it and they get fame, and then they're regretful about it or they bitch about it. And it's like, dude, you did this to yourself.
Kind of almost like MTV's Teen Mom. The whole basis is including the children. So you can't say anything when everyone's questioning that. I get what you're saying. Can I bring up a couple other callers and see if they have any other questions for you?
Dude, 100%. 100%.
All right. Let's bring up, we have Furfik?
I think you're muted.
We'll give you a second.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll give Furfik a minute to get the mic back on. Okay, Furfik, we'll bring you back. Let's bring on Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie.
Hey, guys. First, I have to say YourWetSock is the #1 YouTube channel in the entire world.
Wow.
I love your videos.
And he just said he's eventually going to have baby wet socks.
That will be amazing. You and Blair are like the cutest couples. I love seeing you guys do videos together.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
No problem. And I have to say, too, you guys were commenting about Drusilla's name. Isn't Drusilla one of the ugly stepsisters in Cinderella?
You know what? I think that's true. I think that's big fact.
I've never heard that.
I think so.
I almost think it is.
It might be.
And it's so crazy to me. Devin, she doesn't want to take responsibility for anything. And it's like, she doesn't understand that the problem like follows her wherever she goes. So like, it's not other people that's the problem. Like, she's the problem.
Doug, it's not my fault.
So
You named
irritating.
her kid Dracula. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. She named her kid Dracula. I'm going to be Dracula for Halloween, and I'm hoping that they'll let me trick or treat with them. But I don't think they will. Sad.
This reminds me of that Mean Girl, that clip in Mean Girls when the principal is going on about how upset he is that his sister named his niece Anthony instead of Anthony or something like that. This is like, it's just a name that I guess. Wow. Okay. I guess you got to be careful what you name your kid. I have a niece named Landry, and I suggested to my brother, I was like, maybe you shouldn't name her Landry because people might call her Laundry one day when she grows up. And then now I look like a forever ASS hole because he actually ended up naming her Landry, and his wife is never going to forget that I said that. So
right. Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I think Dracula's a cool name, bro. Like, Dracula's been like he's like the coolest vampire. He's like king of the vampires in Transylvania. Like, he's been in so many movies. If anything, I don't know. It's like the feminine version. Drusilla's like the feminine version of Dracula. So I don't understand what the big deal is. I think in a way I improved the name. So I don't know.
Lizzie, you there? Oh,
Lizzie left.
We lost Lizzie. All right, let's bring
we lost Lizzie. No.
Nana?
Yeah, Nana, what's up?
Nana?
Your mic is muted.
We have some muted mics today. All right, let's try Jamal.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, Jamal?
How you doing?
Hey, YourWetSock. Saw your video about Devin. Keep going in on her, please. Just keep going.
Jamal.
She's annoying. Like, ma'am, like, you have 2 kids by 2 different men, and you're only, 23? And
hey, don't kid shame.
No, it's not kid shaming. It's like, she's not taking any responsibility for her life. Like, ma'am, you decided to go on this show. You decided to go back to Ji-hoon, who doesn't keep jobs and goes out and parties and is kind of a felon, like selling stolen cell phones. I'm going to need you to take responsibility. Don't blame. I mean, with the kids, like, if her parents were really abusing the kids, where were you? Where are the police reports? Where's the CPS charges? I want to see those before I believe anything. She's out of control. She's a Q-list celebrity at best. I'm gonna give her Q.
Well, you took it one step farther. I said D-list, you said Q-list.
I want to give her Q-list. I mean, she may not come back to the show, so she's trying to do something to keep her name out there. I get it, but don't use your child in that way.
Well, in a way, too, she used her child to attack me, which is strange because technically she slandered and said that I was verbally abusive towards her child in my video, which I wasn't at any point in my video.
Right.
So if she's lying about verbal abuse, is she lying towards the abuse that Ji-hoon and his family allegedly did to her?
Right. And then my thing with I saw your video, I'm like, well, ma'am, I'm like, why wouldn't you just go to YourWetSock directly, like, hey, I heard this is happening. Is it true? Why not ask you versus saying, well, I heard? That's like saying word on the street is like, no, you can't do that. You have to go to the friend like, hey, is this true?
Dude, it's crazy. It's like, okay, you heard from some blogger that I know all this information and I'm sitting there like lurking and trying to ruin your life. Whoa, dude, I've never, I don't have malicious intent about anybody. I make videos to entertain all the wet socks. Right. I'm not like creepily on, drama sites or anything trying to lurk and ruin people. Like, I actually hope there's some personal growth that happens and she has a good life. I wish her no ill will at all. I just think that it's like, I think she needed a little bit of a humble pie and she needs to grow up. And I think that she's been blaming other people for her mistakes for her entire life. And at some point, as a mother, you need to accept responsibility for your own actions.
That's my thing. And real quick, the tell-all. Okay. It wasn't as good as it should have been. I'm sorry. I mean, and I blame Sean. Sean, you had how many months to prepare for this? You should have had notes for each couple.
I know what she was focusing on. Did you see her? She was the only one who had a glow up. She's the only one that looks like quarantine has just made her look like 10 times better. Like she looked stunning. It looked like she had no focus on the notes.
She did. She did. But like, how do you have months to prepare for each couple? You've watched the season. How is there dead air on a tell-all, ma'am? Why didn't you ask Charlie and Chuck about like, hey guys, why are you so concerned about Andre's like legal issues? You have so many of your own, and bring out the mugshots. Look, see, this is what you got going on here. Chuck, let's talk about those lawsuits. How many foreclosures do you really own? Let's start that. Jen, it's 2020. Why is your hair crimped? I want you to get that together. Fix that.
Oh my gosh.
Fix that. Libby,
what do you think? It's a reunion, not a roast.
Yes, King. Go off, King.
And Libby, what's going on with you? Why are you puffy in the face? I'm like, what's going on with that? Are you holding water? Are you pregnant again? Like, you don't want anybody to know? What's going on with that? Larissa, ma'am, I'll support you in the boobs. Hey,
Hard.
Get that money. Get
your
that
coin.
Money.
Good.
You got 100,000 for that first video,
right.
So I'm for an entrepreneur.
Exactly. And Eric, I'm gonna need Eric not to talk. Sir, you are the manager. You are to sit back and support your woman and be like, yes, baby, good job. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going. And what's going on with Colt? Colt lost some weight, good job. But the hair, the facial hair, sir, you're giving me like 1990s.
Dog, looking like puddle of mud, like can you take it all away?
Right.
No, it's like, because it's like a character dress up to go with the fetish that is about to be revealed on part 2. We just don't know what said fetish is going to be.
And why was here's the worst thing about the tell-all. Why was Andre the wittiest person on that Zoom? Why? He read Larissa. I'm like, why are you doing this? Why is it you? Why is it you?
You know what the problem is? Those were not his jokes, and you could tell. People are feeding them jokes, dude.
But he delivered well. He delivered well.
You know what? I will compliment him. He delivered well. But I think there's somebody on the side like, all right, hit him with this one. Which, I mean, TLC, pull up. You know, a lot of people think that I should replace Sean, but I feel like maybe I could be the joke guy behind the scenes. You know what? I mean?
You're going to be the one who's like handing them the cue cards. You're like, dude, here's
write some little notes. Right here. This is what you say.
And the last thing before I go. I'm going to need Sinjin to divorce Tanya on the stage. I just need that to happen. They need to split up. I mean, Tanya, you're trying to play counselor for everybody else, but not for yourself. You still have no job. What is wrong with you? Get that together. Get a job. Like, you could go. What she could do, you know, like those little gift card pop-ups. She could fill out those every day, like 5, and like just have some coming in.
Yeah.
Walmart, Kohl's. Maybe Safeway. You know, get you like a little $50 gift card.
Hey, we love triers. You know, at least try.
Ma'am, something.
Yeah.
All right, Jamal, we're going to go ahead and bring up some other callers. Thank you.
Bye, Jamal.
You had a lot of great points.
Talk to you soon. Bye, Adam.
Bye. All right. Let's bring up a few other callers before I end up letting you go and we wrap up for the hour. We have Nana back.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be on here. I'm calling from Nairobi, Kenya.
Wow.
Yeah, so greetings from East Wakanda. I just wanted to sound off on 2 people. First of all, I think Devin is really stupid. She's a stupid idiot. Like, she makes the worst decisions on this planet. Do you remember when she was talking to Jihoon and he was telling her, like, I make $200, I make $3,000. Like, you know, she should have known then that she had no business taking her children to his country. It's not even like it's not rocket science. You know what I mean? So I think she's really stupid, and I think she was raised by a mother that has an equal intellectual capacity that she has. Very ignorant, absolutely obnoxious. Like I can't even. And as an African, like we kind of endure and experience these sort of people all the time. So I can kind of see how yeah, like kind of how she ended up being like that. But it's so ridiculous. Like she has no business, being anybody's parent. The other person is Sinjin, my brother from Africa. Sinjin, leave that woman. What is he doing with that woman? Like,
That's
it's
not
even
gonna work.
Right.
I don't understand. Like he needs to be in South Africa with the white privilege that they still have in South Africa and just kind of chill with that BS.
Well,
right. I think Sinjin is, you know what? He's good vibes and he's lovable. He's just like that one friend you have that's just a free spirit and doesn't really, not really up to anything. And he's just happy-go-lucky. And I feel like they're just a really bad match.
No. Yeah, no, it's not working. It's not working. No, as a fellow African, I know I understand the cultural dynamics, and it's just not, it doesn't work. No, that's not going to work. She should just leave him alone. She must leave him alone, actually, and go back to the States. Let Sinjin stay in Southern Africa and find another Afrikaner that will make him happy. Just leave things alone.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I really, Adam, I love you to death. I love you to death, and I love watching you and Sherelle.
Oh, thank you.
When the skies are open, please come to Kenya. Karibu Kenya. Hakuna matata huku Kenya.
Hey, don't tempt us with a good time.
Yeah, anytime. I'm down. Right when COVID's gone, I want to go everywhere.
Me too.
No, come to Kenya. If you guys want to come, I'll give you a free safari. I'm a hotel brat, so
Awesome.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to take you up on that, and shoot me a message on Instagram too. And thank you for calling. We appreciate you.
I will. I'm in touch with Perry on Instagram, so I'll get in touch with you as well.
All right. Thanks, Nana.
Take care.
All right. All right, YourWetSock, before we end up hiking off here, we do have Sad Star Podcast back, so I'm guessing our phone's charged.
Lit. Let's do it.
I'm back.
Hi.
Thanks for having me again. So the reunion was a mess, honestly. Like Colt, I'm sorry, but what are you doing with yourself? Why do you look like that? Why do you look wet? And why are you still a whaley? Okay. And when he made fun of Larissa, I love you. You're a queen. I stand. But like, you could have had a better comeback. Like when he told you, why are your boobs so wet, so big? You could have told him, well, I went to the doctor and I told him that I want to have the same size as you, like we could match. You and I, Colty, we could have the same bra size. A triple D.
That's a better comeback. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah. And Andre, sit your ass down, Andre. Honestly, I live in Eastern Europe too. Right below Moldova. I'm in Ukraine, and there's no, like, Andre was probably like, he's the biggest bum to ever come out of Eastern Europe. I'm sorry.
Right.
Honestly.
Right. Well, I'm in Bulgaria, neighbor. He's embarrassing us out here, dude.
He's embarrassing. Like, I'm not even Ukrainian. Like, I'm Arabian. I'm North African, but I'm living in Ukraine. And Andre, men here, they work. These countries are not rich. Men here work. They also help their wives around the house. They have social lives, and they also have time to take care of the kids. So they can do all of these things. You're doing like one.
Can I ask you both really quick though? Is it a contradiction that he calls himself man of the house, but then he stays home, doesn't do any of the household duties except take out the trash, and then gives the kid back to Elizabeth when she's off work?
100%.
Okay.
Because if you want those traditional gender roles, then you do the traditional gender roles. Like, I don't understand why so many times people bring up the traditional gender roles. I think in 2020, both people can work and both people can take care of the kids. Like, I don't understand. You just share the responsibilities. I don't understand the traditional gender roles, but a lot of these people want to play it up and be like, oh, I'm the man of the house. I'm still the man of the house. Well, if you're not pulling any weight, you're not. You're a bum. So
even in Ukraine and even back in my own home country, we still had this old traditional belief of the man of the house, and I saw it happening with my own eyes. There are, like, men are strict in my culture, but women still make the last decision. Like men still ask their wives, like, what do you think about this? Like even in secret, even in private. Even I remember Yazan and Brittany when I was talking about them in one of my videos before, and people were like, oh, Yazan's mom was probably beaten. No, Yazan's mom is the one who actually makes the last word. Yazan's mom is the one who makes the decision. And the same thing happens here in Ukraine, from what I saw. Like he probably escaped Moldova because of that. Like no one would even have them. I think he's just ashamed. I probably think his family is even ashamed of him at this point. To be honest,
Well, his brother's wife seemed like she was ashamed of him and even said that.
Yeah, that's true. And did you hear about that thing when they said peasant food?
Dude, it drove me insane. It's so demeaning and rude, and it's like the food all around Eastern Europe is so delicious. For them to say that, it drove me insane. They don't know
about that barbecue. They have Eastern Europe has some of the best barbecue ever. They have this shashlik, and they barbecue meat and they marinate it in such a beautiful way. It's so delicious and it's so good. Plus, that table, those traditional meals and those snacks, that mom probably worked hard on them. It took her probably 100%. Days. Food is not cheap. Food is not cheap here. It costs money, right, Greg?
100%, and it's from scratch. You know, it's all organic. It's from scratch. They have here, Adam. They have you go to a butcher shop or you go to a deli. You go get the farmer's eggs that they picked fresh. You know what I mean? It's a different thing here in Eastern Europe, and people are very proud of their dishes. You know, proud of the banitsa, proud of the shopska. It's not a Trader Joe's. No, and the dishes date back, hundreds of years. So it's a huge fucking insult to be like, this is peasant food. It's basically saying that, everyone in Eastern Europe are a bunch of peasants and they eat peasant food. And it's just a very demeaning thing to say when you're that ignorant. And I could tell they were ignorant when Jess got off, and the minute Jess landed, she said, this doesn't look like a European destination. Bitch, how many European destinations have you been to? I'm guessing none, first of all. Second of all, you remind me of the girls that study abroad, and then they go back to America. They'll study abroad for 6 months and then go back to America and be like, I just can't relate to Americans anymore now that I've studied abroad in Paris. It's like, dude, you're a douchebag. Shut up.
Exactly. Like, they're so horrible. I can't. By the way, I'm going to react to their family, but I'm not going to react to them alone. I'm actually going to ask my Ukrainian friends and my Moldovan friends to react to them, and I'm going to record it so that people can see what actual Moldovan think of these people. Honestly, they deserve it. Yeah.
I like that.
Nice. Message me. Let me know when it's up. I'd love to watch
it. Yeah. By the way, before I just finish something, I just want to roast Devin for the last time. Adam, is
that okay?
Yes. Hey, listen. As long as you don't obviously rip her, totally. I mean, I think YourWetSock has done it like the best way possible of having a conversation and not dragging her daughter through the mud, because I can't sit here and be on this. But
I'm not gonna drag her daughter.
And that's why I think it's a good conversation. Is because he didn't do anything, so you're just pretty much saying you don't understand why you're being threatened with any sort of action. It doesn't make sense to you. And I think that's why this is an easy conversation.
100%.
So where did I stop last time? Yeah, I was talking about her, if Jihoon hurt her daughter, like she could probably use her almighty legal team to come after Jihoon if he actually hurt her children. But no, she's out here like targeting Greg. Devin, the last thing that you can do and the worst thing that you can do is actually target commentary and react channels. I'm saying this to you honestly. We are the last people that you want to be enemies with, because we have a big opinion and we are out here and we are talking to people and they listen to us. So the best thing is to be our friend.
He said that. He said the number one thing is you don't go after commentating channels, because it's just going to give them more content to commentate on. It's literally
exactly.
It's like feeding an animal. It's like you're literally giving me a nice little like New York strip on my plate, and now I get to eat it. And that's his point.
Dog, exactly. I'm a troll, dude. You know, like I
And-
don't take myself seriously at all. The problem is these people take themselves too seriously. So
They do. He also said that clout is like all publicity is good publicity, and he said he gave us Kim Kardashian. Devin, you can be the next Kim Kardashian if you are smart, but you're not. Like you could literally gain all the money, all the clout that you ever want, and instead of photoshopping yourself, your face and your body in every single picture, you could be famous, you could be a celebrity, and you could have enough money to go to Dr. Gavani, the Kylie Jenner's doctor, the one who fixed her face and her body, and you can actually get that buddy. And next time, instead of like chasing Korean bums and getting impregnated by them, you can actually, you have a chance at getting like, who knows, a K-pop idol. After all, you are a Korean. I actually included in that video of her saying that she likes Korean men and she's been around them a couple of times from the episodes themselves. So just a quick advice, Devin, be nice to us, because we honestly, we're not your friends. It's either you give us good content and we be nice to you and this is what we deliver to our audience, or you know, we could go like the bad route. Plus, on what basis was she trying to threaten Greg? Like, I didn't get it. Like defamation or what?
yeah, defamation. Which
For what? Like, what did you defame her with? Like her actions?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't like. I used content from the show, so I don't even. There's nothing that she can do legally. She's a public figure, and I already explained it all in my video. But I think she secretly has a crush on me, and I feel like she needs to back off.
Someone tell Blair.
Wow, did you get a little bit of? Did you get some of Big Ed's ego over there?
No, I just think that she needs to back off because I'm engaged, and she needs to stop because it's like, dude, my fiance and me are madly in love, and
your fiance
walnuts are gonna come for her.
Their walnuts will pull up, dude. You know, watch out for that one. That's a wild walnut. You know, she doesn't want smoke. So.
I just started hearing about your fiance the other day about how you guys do, you know, your videos, and I have to look more into this because I've heard some things and about how you guys are kind of fun and feisty, and I got to watch more because I'm definitely interested in this.
Right. We got the
found out
#1
about
channel,
Greg.
so she's the #1 YouTuber on the platform. Hands down. Hands down.
I love it.
I actually found out about your WetSock channel from Blair Walnut's videos. That's how I found out about him. Because I'm an avid follower of hers. Yeah.
Awesome.
She's so beautiful.
She's sweet. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Well, Sat Star Podcast, before we say goodbye, we hit an hour and 2 minutes. Is there anything else you want to say?
I guess I want to say stay safe, stay smart, and use protection. That's it. Stop having kids.
Hard. Do we have a condom sponsorship on this one or no?
No.
I hope we do.
I feel like why not, you know? Well, let's just reach out. Well, I'm sure somebody has an inquiry page for a brand ambassador for some sort of condom.
Right.
Definitely. So I'm going to say bye now, guys. So
all right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sat Star Podcast. Thank you.
Great talking with you.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Well, this was such an awesome show. I have to thank you again for coming on and being so transparent, so just like upfront, honest. This was a good time. I
had a great time. We were vibing. Good vibes, comment section, good vibes. Everybody watching, you know, big vibe.
Yeah, and we had so many other callers that we couldn't get to today. So we're definitely, man, we have to have you back in the future because so many people want to call in. They have so many questions for you, us, TLC. We can't just cram all this in an hour. So it's good. It gives people a reason to come back.
Yeah, 100%. You just let me know when, and I'm down to be back.
All right. And then also, if anybody who's living under a rock, guys, I have to say, check out the descriptions because YourWetSock, his merch link, his Instagram, Facebook, all of it is in the description. Go check him out. And then also, we have to go check out his Kick ASS. I can't say it on here, but who cares? Fiance. So we'll be watching you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thanks, man. We'll see you soon.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys, how awesome was that? So we took over Master of BlackJack's channels. We had YourWetSock on here. We got into so many different TLC topics, and this isn't over yet. Again, we crammed this into an hour. I'm so thankful that Master of BlackJack is letting us hang out with the army of bottom feeders and really just kind of talk some TLC. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like this video. Make sure you check out YourWetSock, check out our description, and go and subscribe to Master of Black channels 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, right? All right, guys, I'll see you next time, except for you, Jolene. Bye, guys. See you. Bye, guys.